Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Ernie Alima, and in today's video I'll be going over the IRP, which is the Individual Research Project. This video applies for people who are studying A-Level, AQA, French, Spanish or German. Before we get into the video, please like and subscribe for more content, and we'll get right into it right now. So first of all, what is the IRP? The IRP stands for the Individual Research Project and is a chance for you to research, present and discuss a topic that interests you in your exam. The first part of this video will be going over how to choose a topic. So I'm going to put on the screen some advice, some things that I found from the official teaching guide for this IRP. Students can choose a subject linked to one of the themes or sub-themes or to one of the works they have studied. However, they must not base their research on the same literary texts or films that they refer to in their written assessment. There is no preference for one area of study over another, but the subject matter should be challenging enough to allow for at least two sources to be studied and to allow a serious discussion to take place. Suggested topics could include politics, sport, the fashion industry, a historical event or building, immigration in your target language, country, a political figure, a musical performer, the computer games industry in the target language country, a region, gastronomy, a specific major news event. Other topics which you may be able to consider could be from the fields of art, the environment, climate change, the media, voluntary organisations, economic issues such as employment or poverty, education, science and technology, multiculturalism, law and order, health policies, agriculture, lifestyle changes, energy policy, migration, the role of the EU, and housing and tourism. As you can see, the list of things that you can include is very large. You can also include other things that I didn't mention on the list, but please go through with the teacher beforehand to make sure that they approve. I now need to cover some slight warnings which were mentioned before, but just to re-emphasize. You must not base your research on a text or film that you are studying for your written assessment. You must also be careful to make sure that your topic isn't too broad or too general. You need to be specific. Once you've chosen a specific topic, you now need to choose a title for your IRP. A good tip would be to perhaps make your title a question, as this means that you can answer the question during the assessment. For me, my title was, how has French secularism evolved over time? I was able to answer that question during my presentation, and I was able to also discuss further in the exam to give more context and information. Now we're going to move on to the research and the presentation. One of the main goals is to be able to analyse and summarise your findings when you're researching. The primary sources that you'll be referring to should be in your target language. These could be books, articles or documentaries. You can go into news websites, government websites, you can look onto radio archives, podcasts. There are so many sources that you can include, but you need to ensure that you have a wide range of sources. On the teacher guide, it does state that students need to use and reference a minimum of 2 and the maximum of 10 sources, at least one of which must be an internet source. Students should not neglect sources of listening, both audio, for example, radio archive podcasts, and video, for example, YouTube, Dailymotion, and the many news websites with archived videos. Finally, when doing your research, it can be useful to organise your notes into different themes or different categories. This will be useful when you're writing your presentation, as your notes will be organised. You can create sections such as an introduction, key points, counter-arguments, and a conclusion. This will be very useful when you're trying to write your presentation. Your presentation will last 2 minutes during the exam, so you need to practice beforehand and you need to write it out and make sure that you can memorise it all and say it all in 2 minutes. Make sure to answer the question, use a wide range of grammar. If your title is just based on the topic, you need to make sure you cover lots of different aspects of the topic. Please practice, practice, practice. You can record yourself speaking, you can practice in front of family, friends, in front of the mirror, in front of a teddy bear. You just need to practice to make sure that on the day of the exam, you're super confident and you can walk into the exam and do your presentation, so you don't need to worry about that. The presentation is the one thing that you can control in your speaking exam, so definitely take the time to learn and prepare, and make sure that you also practice your pronunciation and your intonation. After your presentation, you'll have a discussion for up to 10 minutes. It's usually 9 or 10 minutes. And in this discussion, you won't know the questions in advance, but you can also prepare for some general questions. Another tip would be to use headings. So you are allowed to submit before the exam a few headings to your examiner. This is so the examiner can provide some questions on the areas that you've highlighted. When you're in the exam, it can be quite nerve-wracking, so please try not to panic. If a question comes up that you can't answer, you can always guide the discussion towards something that you do know. Just try not to sit in silence during the exam and always give the questions a go. The teachers, they're not trying to catch you out, they are trying to help you succeed and do your best. I'm now going to go over the mark scheme and the amount of marks that you can receive from the IRP. So in the IRP, you can receive up to 35 marks, and this is out of the total 60 marks in your speaking exam. The speaking exam represents 30% of your overall grade. On the screen now, I will share the mark scheme just so we can have a look at what the top responses will have. For your presentation, you have up to 5 marks. The aim is to show knowledge and understanding of, and respond critically and analytically to, different aspects of the culture and society of countries or communities where the language is spoken. To get 5 marks, you need thorough knowledge and understanding of the area of study, and this needs to be evident in the presentation. The notes here state that the IRP presentation must relate to a country or countries where the target language is spoken to achieve all marks. In the discussion, you have up to 10 marks. To get 10 marks, your delivery must be fluent throughout. The ideas and opinions expressed should nearly always be developed independently of prompts. You should engage very well in the discussion and give an appropriate response to nearly all questions. By fluency, they just mean being able to deliver at a pace which reflects natural discourse. This doesn't need to be the level associated with a native speaker. There are 10 more marks for being able to manipulate language accurately in spoken and written forms using a range of lexis and structure. To get 10 out of 10, there should be a wide range of vocabulary and complex language. A good knowledge of appropriate idiom should be demonstrated. There should be a highly accurate application of grammar, with occasional minor errors. Pronunciation and intonation should also be very good. Again, you're not expected to be speaking at a native level. There are 10 more marks awarded for the discussion of the individual research project. In order to get 10 out of 10, there must be an excellent critical and analytical response. From the research carried out, the student has acquired thorough knowledge and understanding of the culture and society relevant to the chosen topic. You must consistently select relevant information to support your arguments. You consistently use appropriate evidence to justify your conclusions, and you must demonstrate an excellent evaluation of your chosen topic. A final tip that I found on the mark scheme is that for the presentation, it's about the quality, not the quantity. So your research should definitely be high quality. Don't just research everything, you should go into a specific topic and focus on the quality of your research. We've now reached the end of the video. Thank you very much for watching. If you would like to see the full details of your IRP, which will be assessed, I'll put links in the description below to the specifications and also to the teaching guide for the IRP. This is something that will be really useful because it has the full information. Before you click off this video, please leave a comment down below to say what ideas you have for your topics, and I'd be glad to read all your comments and see what you guys think about it. Any questions or queries, please also put down a comment. And finally, don't forget to like and subscribe for more content, and I'll see you soon.